Welcome. My name is Doug Heidebrecht, and I've spent the past 20 plus years specializing in personal productivity learning. Priority mapping has surfaced as a best practice that makes a huge difference, yet is often overlooked. Let's imagine it's 1 year from today and you've just had an awesome year. You're making a difference, you're growing, and you're opening doors for future opportunity. Achieving these results means putting time into strategic priorities, our own learning, developing others, stretch projects, innovation, things like that. Yet, bringing long-term strategy into day-to-day action is a huge challenge because more than ever we have a non-stop stream of immediate, urgent demands to handle and constant change. And it becomes so easy for our strategic priorities to stay in the back burner yet again. Priority mapping is a bridge to help us overcome these challenges and bring long-term strategy into short-term action. It's not long-term planning, and it's not daily or weekly planning either. It's that often ignored middle ground of intermediate planning. Priority mapping is usually best done monthly or bi-monthly, and it has three main components. First off, 15 to 30 minutes of stepping back, thinking, and answering the question, in order for me to achieve my results for the year, what do I want to make happen this month? What are my top three? Includes, things like what has changed and how do I best adjust for this change? The second component is using a tool that captures this thinking, makes it clear, and keeps it in our face where we see it all the time. Just like a roadmap, a priority map helps us easily see where we are relative to where we want to go and what the next few roads will be. The third and maybe most important component is a short and sweet aligning conversation with our leader, double checking that we're on the same page. I call this planning and aligning the missing link because most individuals and teams are not doing this as fully or as consistently as they could. It's been my observation the busier we get and the faster things change, the more we tend to skip over this planning. Yet this is exactly when it's even more important to do this planning. And yes, I do get enthusiastic about this because when people do this planning, it ends up making a big difference. To start with, instead of letting change sneak up on us, this monthly reflection prompts us to proactively, thoughtfully consider what's changing and how do I best adjust for this. So we become better at managing change and staying agile. And our yearly performance plans stay relevant and alive. Let's also consider attention. Companies spend billions of dollars on advertising each year because they understand the power of attention. For most of us, our email and various immediate demands get by far most of our attention, while our longer term yearly goals are typically kept out of sight, out of mind. People often tell me they can't remember the last time they looked at their yearly goals. And as a result, many of our choices, the things we say yes to, are made without a full awareness of the strategic priorities we are now saying no to. Having this priority map in front of us engineers our attention. It keeps our most important priorities in sight and in mind. And as a result, some of the choices we make are absolutely different. Almost everything seems important in the moment, and when we don't have a tool like the priority map to help us make this comparison, it's just way too easy to default to yes. Clarity is also key. Many of our strategic priorities are large in scope, and there are many of them. It's very difficult to look at big picture yearly plans and then zero in on the top three next steps for the week ahead. Yet if we don't know that specific next step, something that we could fit into today, then we're uncertain, we get stuck, and the strategic priorities end up staying on the back burner yet again. By creating the priority map, we're identifying our top priorities and then breaking them down into more manageable, more specific monthly objectives. And now that these are in place, it becomes a lot easier to break these down into bite-sized weekly and daily next steps. Finally, alignment. Alignment with our leader is a bigger deal than most people realize. We might speak with our leader quite often, yet if we think about it, most of those conversations end up being around the issue of the day. And strategy-focused conversations actually tend to be quite sporadic. This is an issue because when we're not confident that we're aligned, we are less committed. We second guess ourselves and we allow other things to pull us off track more than they should. Taking just a little time to align with our leader more frequently builds commitment and reduces the stress and uncertainty of change. And using a clear visual tool like the priority map helps make this easy. On October 10th, we are going to do some priority mapping, and I hope to see you there. Thanks for your time and have an awesome day.